whenever you introduce any layer, like infrastructure layer, you create another potential point of failure. And speaking from the engineering perspective, the simpler the better. If today I go just to some proxy, to some gateway, send the credentials, which is fine, but it requires me to implement it, which sucks. When you have an agent will have to reason it, have to choose the right tool. It has to be either smart enough or trained to choose the right tool. Let's say optimistic route, it's smart enough. And then you will have MCP server, probably some other proxies that will handle all the authorization and thing, and then your API. So you create several intermediate components. You introduce like small overhead for connection establishing, like okay.
And each one is MCP powered.
Yes, and
so no humans.
No humans.
Yeah.
This is amazing.
Yeah.
Thinking from high load perspective, when you have tens, hundreds of thousands queries per second, this sucks.
Okay.
Just because you have so many layers of complexity. I think. No, I'm not being pessimistic here. I think this will be the way. This will be like a standard, but I don't think that we will put into trash can all standards, like more straightforward. Because for some cases, like think about if you introduce an overhead of 5 to 10% of resource utilization to that, and think big companies scale, like they won't afford it.
People still use GSM for calling.
Yeah. I mean, look, it will be a standard. I don't say that it will not. And I think we will just have it another. You will have all existing APIs and like, okay, here's our MCP.
Imagine like the other side of the world when you're the Indian guy sitting somewhere in Bangladesh, and you have no power, no budget to make your marketing and so on. You're just a nice guy, chill guy that just studied in the university and knows how to backend and knows how to do things well. You're just inspired by some YC or something, and you're sitting and making your day-to-day startup, like the technology, you're building some interface and so on and so on. Then you integrate MCP. Your guys started using your server, like your neighbors, your friends, Indian guys. They started using that. The MCP register, which is next, will save your stats, which is also next. Stats about your timeouts, about your pricing, about your downtimes, about everything, the number of users and conversions of the successful calls.
Okay.
It will make you the top one in the MCP league, and then you will start getting requests like the CEO.
Yes.
You will start getting requests from all over the world because you have less pricing on the same technology. It allows anyone to be.
No. I don't argue with you.
Yeah.
This will be a use case. I will just say that when you say less resources, so the overhead. And today I'm thinking about that to integrate to MCP server. What I have to do, I have to just load the metadata, which is just API spec, essentially. So I'm thinking of it just another API, which will not replace everything, but it's very powerful when I think the main use case when the agent just decides, make a reasoning, okay, this is the optimal way to load the data, and just go. So you eliminate this if-else rule-based logic in the code, and LLM decides it. And I think this is amazing. So it will. We work with reasoning. We have some agentic workflows, not fully, I would say. This is great, but the devil here in details, if you have to reach 99% accuracy, you have to put a lot of effort into that.
Of course.
And there are cases that I will go, switch case statement with 5 scenarios. Might be just simpler and better and more reliable than investing into, make an agent to learn it. So this is just a trade-off to consider. So because I would prefer going simpler way if it works. If it's not, yes, let's go more.
Nice.
Cool. I think your use case, especially if you work with data.
Of course.
This is amazing.
It's like oil. They will just make us get big cows. They will milk us.
Cool.
But imagine that guy from India. He started getting requests for his backend, but not for the interface. Nobody cares about his buggy, startup-y, lagging interface.
So this again, I look at it from So
Yeah,
my
from this
background is
perspective.
primarily technology, so
Yeah.
I'm looking at just another type of API, which is agent-friendly API.
Yes.
So which is great. But yeah, I mean, just not everywhere this will be the case.
Yeah.
But I think for agentic, especially when LLM, I think of it a little bit like, have you worked with GraphQL on a big scale?
No.
No. So the funny part is they created like the, you should check it out. I think you will see some, I would say, correlation between the MCP idea is you have declarative interface.
Mhm.
Like I want to call a method get leads, and I want to return field 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah.
And like under the hood, there will be a server that can create a SQL query, SQL query, or can go to HTTP and aggregate the data.
Yeah.
So I think it's very similar, and I think there will be some very fast, GraphQL to MCP implementations
of
out
course,
of the box.
of course. And yeah, I'd love. I even thought today that imagine you're the user of ChatGPT.
Yes, I am.
Okay. And you love some features of Gemini.
Yeah.
And both ChatGPT and Gemini are MCP powered. You're saying, hey, I want to use Gemini features inside my ChatGPT that will allow you to do that.
Yeah. So I mean, yes, this is amazing. I see the whole bunch of opportunities. It depends if I'm talking more in a, visioning and one real. So this is one thing. When I start talking technically, so I have to start with, okay, what are the constraints, limitations, potential issues? There are like a ton of them, but generally it's very cool. So
Yeah, we're just touching the new world of technology.
Yeah. Actually,
it could just pivot. It could just be a little bit different, much more
you mean
different.
for your case specifically?
For everyone. They just created some vision, and they see how people make the use cases around that. It will of course have some versions. It will of course have some different documentations and so on and so on.
I think what you mentioned about the proxy statistics and self-learning, like the registry. So there should be some registry. So
Yes.
this will be either.
Currently there is one on the Anthropic GitHub. It's
Yeah.
like a list of thousands of
Yes.
servers.
So and this is another opportunity actually
Yes.
to have a really good registry.
Someone is already doing that. I saw a lot of marketplaces of MCP servers that you can apply for, but there is no one standard because the Anthropic just made it open source, and Anthropic has made the next move of making this registry, some big guys.
Probably, but I think there will be both think about it as Docker registry. So basically in Docker registry, you have a standard, like Docker OCR container, open container registry format, and there are other providers. So I think here will be the same. You will have open registries, but for example, you can easily manipulate because look at, if I have an agent has to decide from where to pull the data, and there are two more of your competitors. So I could create a service that will basically, help you direct